India is one of the most diverse and magical countries on Earth. A vast melting pot of different cultures and religions. It is home to a staggering 1.2 billion people and is blessed with some of the most exotic landscapes on the planet. It is also a country of unparalleled mystery, and every year over 100 adventurous bikers come here to embark on a unique and incredible two-week adventure. EnduroIndia.
It's a test of yourself, it's a test of endurance, sense of humour, all those things. Operates on a different level to many sort of motorcycle events in the fact that it's a charity fundraiser, but it's also something for the person that takes part as well. So the whole idea is you'd raise money to do it, but in return for a year or 2 years worth of investment of time, which the people have to put in, of course, we will then return that favour with a beautiful trip, so an adventure of a lifetime.
The route that EnduroIndia riders take is breathtaking. Starting at the white sands of Goa, the riders head south past fishing villages before turning inland to the paddy fields of Shimoga. From here they ride south to the ancient temples of Mysore and the tiger reservations of Massanagudi. Through the stunning tea plantations of Munnar, the riders then swing west towards their final destination, the city of Kottayam. All told, it is a journey of over 2,000 kilometres. But before any of that, they have to meet their transport, the infamous Royal Enfield Bullet. With a design dating back to the Dark Ages and with all of the controls on the wrong side, it's just as well all the riders know how to handle a motorbike.
I'm used to riding little scooters around London, a Vespa 125. I've literally just passed my test to do this. So this is completely different to what I'm used to.
It was too good an opportunity to pass up. It seemed like an incredible thing to do, and already I've only been here 24 hours, but you know, the buzz is just awesome. I know it's going to be an insane rush. Passed my test 2 weeks ago, so my riding experience is exactly 7 days, and I'm sure that's going to set me up very well for the Indian roads out here.
We're about to have a little warm-up day, ride about 30 kilometres. I'm about to meet my bike as well for the first time, which is great, and who knows from there, I have no idea, hopefully not fall off at any point.
With their excitement levels knocking the top off the Richter scale, it's time for the riders to familiarise themselves with their bullets by hitting the streets of Goa and heading out into the unknown. And the first realisation comes about 1 mile down the road. The Indians don't quite drive like we do. In fact, it's absolute bedlam out there, as Suzanne explains.
Initially it was fine actually because there wasn't a whole lot of traffic on the road, but coming into here it was quite hairy. I saw a guy going under a bus, not one of our own guys. So yeah, it's fairly hectic, and it's the worst thing. I think the worst thing for us is that sometimes you're actually trying to keep an eye on other people because it's hard to concentrate on the map and then concentrate on the road and everything at the same time. So I'm sure we'll get the hang of it eventually.
It's the first proper day of riding, and the day dawns bright and early. So what are the riders looking forward to?
Adventure, the smell of motorcycle grease, sweat, and just fun really, kind of just getting out there and kind of, you know, doing boys things really.
And I got my license about 3 weeks ago, so I'm feeling really nervous and just have no idea what to expect. This is an amazing opportunity. I just have to keep focusing on that, not the riding.
Everyone's a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous, doesn't want to go the wrong way, doesn't want to fall off their bike in the car park and all that kind of thing, wants their bike to start first time.
This ride isn't easy. Riding 11 days in India through varied terrain with the heat and all the rest of it, you do need to be on your game. There will be times when the mist gets you and you're riding beyond your ability or whatever. Try and recognise those moments, because it only takes one and it's the end, not just of your rally but of other things as well. So please do be careful. What you're going to see over the next couple of weeks is absolutely mind-bending. It gets better and better and better and better every single day.
And so, after years of fundraising and anticipation, this is the moment they've all been waiting for. Over 100 motorbikes, nose to tail, covered in flowers and wobbling enthusiastically south. It's a hell of a sight. So how are the riders coping?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great to finally get underway, really. You know, all the waiting around in airports and the anticipation out of the way. Get on the road this morning, it's been fantastic.
There's a few crazy drivers out there. I saw this car overtake my buddy in front, almost clipped her. So it's, yeah, you have to be, you know, have your wits about you all the time, I think.
The rally includes people of wide-spanning abilities and age from all corners of the globe, each one here for their own personal reasons.
To celebrate my brother's 50th birthday, and we decided to cross the Indian continent in celebration of that event. So that's what brings us here, and also the camaraderie, this international group of people, and the friends that we're going to meet, and the good times we're going to share with everybody else.
At their coastal destination that night, all the riders have survived, which is more than can be said for the wildlife.
We narrowly missed a cow, we killed a chicken, and got very, very close to a pig, but traffic car-wise it wasn't too bad. It's only the 4th time I've ever gone on a bike. It's actually a lot calmer than I thought it would be. It's a bit sore on the rear, but you get used to it, a lot of standing up. So.
When Dave and I came out, I remember saying to Dave, you know, this trip is going to be ups and downs, you know, it's going to be a spectrum of different stuff. And Dave said to me, you know, I can't imagine there's going to be any downs. And I thought, you know, this is a really naive way to see it. And today, sitting in a kind of boiler suit for 5 hours was actually difficult, but so worth it. I feel very lucky to have actually made it through today. It was awesome. We saw some spectacular things, but it has been a lot more difficult than I thought it would be.
You know, traffic's coming at you from all directions, and then when you throw in cows who have, it seems, the ultimate right of way, you've got pigs darting across the roads, dogs sleeping in the road, kids running in the road in front of you just so they can wave or maybe give you a high five. You know, your senses are on absolute overload.
Coming up after the break...
Whoa! I thought it was just, we're going to cruise around India. And it's like, seriously, it's like a rally. It's a full-on rally.
Motorbike rally that involves over 100 riders attempting to cover over 2,000 kilometers of testing terrain in just under 2 weeks. With their Indian cherries now popped and raring to go, the riders launch themselves at the second day of riding. As they ride inland away from the cooler coastal regions, the heat of the dry season goes soaring upwards. Fortunately, a local school provides a break from the intensity, and the excited children put the group in good spirits, offering momentary respite from the challenging conditions.
Dusty.
Yeah, very dusty, very sore eyes.
Bumpy.
Sore ass.
Yeah, I especially want to tell you about how I was stupid enough to fall off the bike already. Coming around a corner, missed a shift, in the gravel, everything wrong, you know, going just a little bit too fast, almost got it shut down, and this ditch grabs a hold of me and goes boom, and down you go. Stand up and walk off, you know, pick it up, half a dozen Indian guys out in the middle of nowhere, you know, all of a sudden they run up and they help me pick up the bike, and, you know, bit of bam, bit of boom, I'm back on the road.
It's not long before they come across the nastiest road in the world. While some of the riders relish the challenge, others, such as Suzanne, start to struggle.
Whoa!
Luckily, help is on hand.
Well, I've never ever in my life done off-roading. I've only been riding for a year, and I have no idea what gear you'd hit that in or what speed you go at. And of course, I obviously did it in the wrong gear, the wrong speed. But I did get all the way up here without falling off, except at the last minute. And you won't show that, will you?
Sorry, Angie.
That was insane. That was so cool. I really, really loved it. We had a whole group of us girls just like biking together, and we had our, you know, little guardian angel mechanics behind us. And we were just like, and I said to the guy, like, how on earth do you do this like off-road stuff? And he said, just keep your elbows up, just keep it all kind of loose. And it was like controlling a bloody wild horse. It was so awesome. I honestly, I loved it.
As the second day draws to a close, the riders, some battered and some a little bruised, are quick to admit that riding a motorbike in India is unlike anything else they've tried.
I mean, I'm not really a biker at all. You know, I ride a push bike in London. It reminds me of being a little boy wanting a motorbike. It's like, I've got a motorbike. Practically, it's pretty cool. And I figured the way to, after the first day, the way to ride with the locals is to ride like the locals. Thumb on horn, go straight for the gap that isn't there, pray that the lorry's not going to like take you out, and it's worked so far. I think they're onto something.
I had no idea this was some sort of endurance thing. I don't know why. I had no idea. I thought it was just we're going to cruise around India. And it's like, seriously, it's like a rally. It's a full-on rally. I had no idea.
The next morning, it seems that Gavin has caught the plague overnight.
All was going well, but I think you can see from here that I had a bit of an accident yesterday, so it completely ruined it. We were going along the Indian highway on a straight road, and truck was coming on the opposite side, and then one pulled out to its side, so therefore coming straight for me. It was either hit the bus or hit the edge of the road. So I hit the edge of the road, and unfortunately for me, there was lots of rocks there. It punctured my wheel and just sent me flying. Luckily, there was really, really good support. Literally in about 5 minutes, an ambulance was coming along. I was put on a stretcher and had a neck brace just for precaution and everything. Fortunately for me, it could have been a lot worse. I'm actually all right. I was up and about yesterday. So we're just going to get back on the road and go again. I'm not going to let it ruin my trip.
The riders have now covered over 400 kilometres and are heading eastwards towards the paddy fields of Shimoga. It's hot, very dusty, but as India becomes more remote, she reveals her true beauty.
And we're actually now just taking the main highway this morning down to a place called Honavar, and we've now turned onto this beautiful road called the Sharavati Road, which leads us right alongside the Sharavati River, which is absolutely beautiful, like I've seen out of Vietnam or Laos or something like that. Very fast mountain riding, great tarmac. When we get to the top, you've got the highest waterfall in India, so it's a lovely, lovely sight, even at this time of the year, which is obviously dry.
The countryside's amazing, really. We haven't been stopping enough, really, been too busy riding, but today, hopefully, get the camera out and take a few photographs, so she won't believe I've been here when I get back.
After a long, sweaty morning in the saddle, the riders are treated to the glorious sight of India's biggest waterfall. David reveals why he's not really missing the wife.
She likes to holiday in the sun, just sit there all day, and we've always done that, and I decided it was time that I had one for myself, so signed up and come along. It's quite nice just to get on your bike and go, be free.
As the day progresses on well-surfaced roads, both the riders' confidence and speed go up. It all ends in disaster for straight-talking Adele.
So what just happened is I was driving along this fine road and a guy just out of nowhere just decided to do a U-turn in front of the road. He didn't look anything like that. And I was coming up behind him and I slowed down that I could see it. He was just gutting it across and I skidded my bike across the road, and in fact you can see it's about 16 meters of skid. If you just point down here you can like see it's nice. This is me right here all the way through. I'm intact. My bike is a bit mucked, which is a real irritation, and helmet is scuffed, so full face helmet, very important. Just annoying that he didn't look, and just annoying for me that like I was doing so well and then like ended up skidding. I was just like, damn. But I'm the luckiest cat ever because I'm like fully fine.
Adele's husband Bruce has had a slightly more enjoyable day.
Well, everybody told me to be life-changing, so there's like quite high expectations. I expect to go back to my life changed. I think today was the first day I could really say, wow. You know, we saw some incredible scenes. The scenes with the children were fantastic, and I'm just feeling happy and alive and privileged to be here and on planet Earth, really. So we'll see. We've got another like 9 days to go, so my life shall be changed.
Day 4 is for the real bikers, honed for years by the Enduro team to mix tough riding with challenging terrain.
It's just fantastic, eh? It's just an awesome day. You know, the sun's shining, wildlife running out in front of you, locking up the back brakes. It's just insane.
Colin's Bullet just got a whole lot noisier.
Bike's a wimp. The exhaust's exhausted.
Where is the exhaust?
A wee man up the trail said, too hot, just you go, room, room. So I did.
Right, you got a straight through pipe now.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
And less than 10 minutes later, Colin finds himself doing a spot of off-roading.
Well, I don't think it's my fault. I blame the fact that twice my exhaust fell off. It didn't get put back on, and I actually thought I was riding like a demon as opposed to a dick. So somewhere about here, I realised that it wasn't going to make the corner, and somewhere about there, I realised it was a sheer drop. So somewhere between there and there, I jumped off and bounced on my arse and then went over the side. But I only fell like 8 feet, and the bike went all the way
Completely just takes your breath away, doesn't it?
The people are, you know, unbelievably beautiful.
It's not only the country
not just in looks, but
yeah,
you know, just their spirit is just fantastic, you know.
And after a hard day's riding, what better way to cool off than a swim in a mountain river?
The day has been incredible though. Each day just seems to get kind of a little bit better, a little bit more special. The scenery keeps changing, which is, you know, lovely, and the driving changes as well. Today we had a lot of kind of hairpin bends. A couple of people came off, which was a good lesson actually. One guy went down straight in front of me, and it was a kind of little nod saying, you know, check your speed, don't get overconfident, because it's very easy to kind of slip into how the Indians drive over here and think you know it all, and then bam, you know, a cow steps out in front of you, or the conditions suddenly change. But it's been so much fun, really wonderful, and to top it all off with a swim in this just kind of makes it all worth it.
Tonight we're staying at Silent Hill, to give it its pet name. We're right up in the mountains, not far from Kudramuk, which is one of the highest points, certainly on the southern part of the Ghats. It's an interesting place because 75 people are sleeping outside tonight. And I don't know if they know that they're the ones sleeping outside, because we did it on a lottery basis. But it's great fun. We have the campfire, we have the guitars. Everyone who's sleeping outside tends to have a better night than everybody who's in the huts.
And while the locals perform their rendition of Stairway to Heaven, the mechanics are hard at work tending to the day's many casualties.
Today we've got a couple of 100 kilometres straight into the royal city of Mysore, where the British used to have their summer seat of power. Absolutely amazing place. And because it's the weekend, the famous Maharaja's palace will be lit up. And it is quite a sight, which I'm sure you'll agree when you see it.
You know, there's a possibility of breaking your legs. There's a possibility of getting smashed up by a truck or running your bike over a cliff, getting Delhi belly or getting malaria. I thought, that's the trip for me. A lot of people in my area, they kind of know that I'm a keen biker, so I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. It's like paradise here.
Everywhere you go, they just don't stop. They just stood by the side of the road, waving their arms, smiling at you, jumping up and down with excitement because you're all going past. That's the thing that keeps you going on it. You know, you shift about on the bike to keep yourself comfortable, but it's the kids that keep you going. You know, those happy, smiley faces, doesn't matter where you are, they don't know who you are, and they don't really care. They're just happy to see you there.
Coming up after the break.
Cow walks out in front of him. Both go down. Cow's obviously not too well. Rider's a little bit shaken.
What started off as a swim in the swimming pool under the lightning progressed quite rapidly to a full-on in-your-face mud fight.
Hugely challenging motorbike rally that involves over 100 riders attempting to cover over 2,000 kilometres of testing terrain in just under 2 weeks.
I think it's probably the most dangerous road riding I've ever done in my life, and I've been riding motorbikes for 18 years. I think that's the challenge. I think it's the intense concentration and the reward for working it out on the road, which I think is quite exhilarating. You're not thinking about yesterday, you're not thinking about tomorrow, you're not thinking about work, you're not thinking about bills, you're thinking about the present, which is that dog, that cow, that truck, that gap, this speed. And it's quite amazing. I love it because I have just the whole landscape rushing into me, and it just constantly feeds my brain in terms of sight and senses.
To the east, to the west, neither one is the best, for the grass is greener anywhere with you, anywhere with you.
Suddenly, real disaster strikes. One of the riders has just T-boned a cow at 40 miles an hour, and it doesn't look good for the battered bovine.
Yeah, so here we are, we're on the Mysore, on the Huntsville Road in Mysore. Very, very busy, loads of traffic. Guys filtering through the traffic. Cow walks out in front of him. Both go down. Cow's obviously not too well. Rider's a little bit shaken. Not feeling too good himself, obviously. But, I mean, they're easy to miss, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? 2 tons and black and white. I mean, anyone could do it.
Negotiations then take place between the organisers, the police and the cow's owner for its cash value. And as the murdered moo slips away, a price is agreed. But just up the road, the riders get to experience a more enjoyable side of the local culture.
The finished product, guys.
Hey,
check it out.
Hold up.
It's cleaner than it was. Oh, it's awesome. We just washed our first garment Indian style. This was
although it doesn't look white, it's so much whiter than it was. Anyway, it's great fun. It's just great to be a part of Indian culture, and they seem to be quite enjoying us and thinking that we're strange, weird foreigners. Yeah, better than a cow being killed on the side of the road, let's put it that way. How are you? I'm so glad I married you. You're a great wife. You know how to do the washing.
Look at that. Beautiful.
To the east, to the west, neither one is the best, for the grass is greener anywhere with you, anywhere with you. To the east, to the west, neither one is the best, for the grass is greener anywhere with you.
We've been driving through a park, national park here, and we came across this elephant getting a nice scrub down. Something we would never do in Africa. They just don't like being washed like this.
And it's not just elephants being washed. As the riders arrive at the jungle hut amid preparations for a religious festival, the heavens open with torrential rain. And where you have rain, you have mud.
Now they're going for a mud fight. They're going mud fighting.
What started off as a swimming pool under the lightning progressed quite rapidly to a full-on in-your-face mud fight. One of the most funniest things I've done in my life, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Absolutely brilliant.
I felt like a kid. I didn't want to leave. I was just like, the rain was pouring down, and it was like, I was kind of looking at the stuff in my hands going, what is this? And it was just wicked. I just feel like I'm playing. It was wicked. Also, I've just let go. Like I'm a project manager, I'm always in control, and I've just totally let go. I mean, today the traffic was so hilarious. I mean, there were 4 trucks coming towards me at one point. I had to get off the road and come back on the road. I almost had another accident. I just started laughing. So it's just this experience of just surrendering to India. I can honestly say this is one of the most important and mind-blowing experiences of my life.
We've been up here about 3 hours watching the sunrise, but it's been really misty. It's kind of a temple on the top of a hill just overlooking the festival and the jungle resort site. And as you can see, I've got my own guru. I feel like one of the Beatles. Need a bit of housekeeping at my place. Wouldn't you be interested?
Back on the road, the Enduro riders head into the cool air of the mountains near Ooty, an old British hill station located at a dizzying 7,500 feet. An astonishing 36 consecutive hairpin bends form part of the morning's challenge.
We've got tea fields here that are just amazing, with these people who are just picking leaves and dumping them over their backs into these little sacks that they got. I mean, it's got to be the most manual labor ever. A bit chilly. It's been a cold ride through the mountain hills. I didn't put a jumper on this morning, so I've been kind of shaking and shivering a little bit like this. But it's been absolutely gorgeous. We had 36 or 37 S-bends in a row with the bullets just sweeping in and out, and it was heavenly. The perfect riding, the absolutely perfect riding. You couldn't ask for better riding.
As the riders wind their way back down the mountain roads, gravity gets the better of some.
We're just coming through the town there, You know, we're back into like the main road where there's loads of trucks and, you know, people overtaking like mad and tuk-tuks turning left, right, everywhere. And poor old Frank seems to have came a bit of a cropper. But apparently he's okay and he's in the ambulance, a bit of a bad shoulder. But the mechanics here work wonders for bikes, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do much for this one. I think it might just have to bite the dust, you know.
But it's not always about high drama on EnduroIndia. Sometimes it's best just to lean back in the saddle and enjoy the ride.
Young boy is a burning bush. Young man is a railway track. Grown man is a pounding heart. Old man is the memory back. Tell us, did we dream or did we feel? Tell us if this life we live was real. Picture book of life is hard to see.
It's unimaginable. You just close your eyes, think of the most amazing place on earth and stick a road in it and then a bike, and that's what you've got here.
When you got to round the top, you felt like on top of the world. And the actual, you could see down to the lake, and oh, it was excellent, really nice, fantastic.
I've got 3 children. I have to text them every day, and I email when I can my son, primary school teacher. So, and they're sort of doing they've got a map of the route where I am each day, so sort of an update. And I try and text them a photograph of the best view. Like today, it was that waterfall and the view as we came up the side here, and you're looking down on top of the world, looking down on that valley with those mountains coming up. Amazing.
Now, the riders don't know it yet, but this is the best day's riding of the entire trip. Wonderful roads, little traffic, and incredible scenery show why it's always best to travel by bike.
It's been absolutely awesome. I've really been loving the biking, bonding with the bike. It's just getting better every day. India is amazing. It just keeps kind of surprising me. Coming around every corner, you're hit by all these kind of sights and sounds. The people are just so friendly as well. It's just blows my head off.
And just when you thought India couldn't get any more glorious, you discover the tea plantations of Munnar.
The tea plantations and the poinsettias and whatever coming up this valley are just out of this world. You go around a corner thinking you've seen it all, and then there's another picture opens in front of you, and you have to get off the bike and take another photograph.
We've actually been at the back of the group, I think now 9 days solid, and there is a very good reason for that, and that's you just miss all of the beauty of India if you tank it through this area. And being able to stop today, it's been literally almost every 100 metres, take photographs, meet some of the locals. The last 3 hours has probably been one of the most profoundly significant of my life, and what I mean by that is it's the first time on this trip I think I've thought of nothing but how insignificant I am in the world, and just what astounding beauty is carved through this landscape naturally, and it's a very humbling experience.
Right, keep doing that.
It's the penultimate day of riding and some of the group just don't want it to end.
I've never done anything longer than a 25-minute commute into London before, but surprisingly you just kick in and you just find, you know, I think it's, I don't know, it's your endorphins or something. You're on a high and it just doesn't matter if you do a 9-10 hour day, and that has really amazed me that I just don't feel tired.
It's been so, like, wow.
She arrived back one day in tears, just so moved by the breakthrough she'd had and how she conquered her fear. And,
yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been an incredible trip. It's day 10 and I just wish it wasn't ever going to end.
Yeah, never. I can't actually believe how amazing this has been.
They've been a great group actually. People have been behaving themselves really well. We haven't really, touch wood, had any serious incidents or accidents. I'm getting a little bit sad now because this is one of the highlights of the trip. We've tried to build it so it builds and builds and builds. We put some tough long days in at the start, but the result is going to get into these days, which are absolutely magnificent, and they really are blowing people away. Some of the faces and smiles last night were incredible.
I've not seen anything like it anywhere else in the world, and I don't think you can. I think it's here. This is it. You know, this is where you see it. It's just unbelievable. Just such an amazing lesson. You know, I'm learning out here that it's not what you've got. It's what's inside. So it really is a mind-blowing experience, this one. And now we're staying in a tiger reserve, so it's like.
In the last 15 years I've travelled the world and have been fortunate enough as a bike journo to be paid to test bikes and tyres and all the rest of it around all the finest racetracks, and had some fantastic experiences. But when I came out to India I knew it was going to be a different kind of experience, being that it's on Royal Enfields and not modern high-tech machinery. I think not only has it been probably the best motorcycling experience I've ever had, but quite possibly the best 2 weeks I've ever had.
Coming up after the break.
It's unbelievable. There's nothing to match it, really.
It's a hugely challenging motorbike rally that involves over 100 riders attempting to cover over 2,000 kilometres of testing terrain in just under 2 weeks. Dawn breaks on the final day of EnduroIndia. For some, it's a final chance to be daft, while others have grown very attached to their bikes.
Yeah, I suppose letting the Enfield go would be difficult because it's quite a charming bike and we all had a lot of fun on it, and some of us, a few guys enjoy riding together, ride the same way.
Really sad it's the last day because I've made some fantastic new friends and had an amazing experience and really feel totally energized.
I mean, they've got next to nothing and they're still happy, content. And watching the kids waving as you're going past, oh, what an amazing feeling.
I have a very stressful life in London, and I think I realised that it's kind of all inconsequential. You know, I've met people here who are just absolutely happy, but they earn 1,000 rupees a month. They have their community, they have their family, they have their faith, and you know, I think that's what we suffer in the West is you know, an erosion of your community, your faith, and your culture. So I realised that kind of it makes happy people there.
Calvary Mount, where we are now, isn't actually on a public highway. It's simply a road that we found literally on an old British Ordnance Survey map. As you can see now, it's just a big hill with a great big steep climb, fabulous challenge for the bikers, an amazing reward when you get to the top. And I think it's a fitting end to a great trip, it really is.
As we approach the final stages, there is still time for the EnduroIndia staff to make a complete arse of themselves.
It's between me and you, yeah? Last couple of bends, I should have known that I was pushing it too much because the back was locking up. Obviously the camera crew are in front, so that's game on for diving in front of the camera crew. Unfortunately, I locked up way too much, so I thought I'd have a quick look over my shoulder, see how good the skid mark into the bend was. Looked in front and I'm in a f***ing ditch.
Oh, it's incredible. The mood here is so good. We've just stopped off about 20k out, so just waiting for everyone until the final ride in. There's family, a few family have come out to greet people, and that's really nice. Today just happened so quickly, and now we're 20k out. You're thinking, you know, where's it all gone from that very, very first day? So I wasn't going to get emotional, but I think I am slightly emotional a bit.
I'm almost speechless almost. I can't believe that it's all coming to an end. There's been 140, 150 guys who have went through just hell with each other, but heaven at the same time. To mix the idea of going away to the different country with 140 nutcases on motorbikes is so unique. It's unbelievable. There's nothing to match it, really. It's just the most insane thing that I've ever taken part in my life. The best 15 days of my life so far.
And then it's time for the final ride-in. It's been a trip of epic proportions. There have been lows as well as the highs, but every second of each day has been worth it. With exhausts roaring and horns blaring, the air is charged with emotion as over 100 bullets roll as one into Kottayam. For some, this has been the realization of years' worth of fundraising. For others, it's been a much-needed break from the crazy pace at which we lead our modern lives. But whatever their reasons for coming, the experience of EnduroIndia makes a profound impression on everyone.
Unbelievable. And I honestly can't believe that like 11 days ago we were sitting there in Goa and, you know, we were looking at the bikes and I was so scared, and we've done it, man. I feel amazing. Unbelievable.
Come here. She is a hero, man. She is an absolute hero. I'm so proud.
I'm feeling amazing. I mean, 5 years of Enduro now. It's been a really, really great group. Really, really emotional ride in there. Everyone's absolutely stoked, buzzing. You got tears, you got laughter. Really, really good. Really good.
Everybody was smiling and waving, and I was just in bits. It was just
I'm so happy, genuinely happy to see her.
so happy. And at the moment, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave because it's such a magical place.
The amount of risk and danger and novelty and excitement we had, it's like we went up to the edge of reason and rationale, and we looked over and we saw absolute madness and chaos and all the beauty that was India, and we had a good nose around, and we actually walked back sort of intact. If you do experience it, then it really, you know, adds to your outlook on life. I feel enriched and wiser for